So today I would like to present a paper regarding my PhD research entitled Issues and Challenges of Agile Maintenance, which is a preliminary study. Actually, I'm still in the early phase of my PhD journey, and this is my current findings towards my research. Okay, my presentations outline will be like this. We will have introductions. I will talk a bit about the background study, what are the methodology that I have been used in this paper, and then the findings. Last one will be discussions and conclusions. Okay, as an introduction, the objective of this paper is I would like to identify the issues and challenges of agile maintenance. As we all know, software maintenance will start once the software product has been delivered to user. So meaning that once the software product been transferred to user, the product will enter the maintenance phase. And then it has been known that 40% to 80% of the effort are spent on the software maintenance process. So this is why software maintenance process is important in the life cycle. Some background of the study. Okay, I would like to explain about the software maintenance. Generally, we have 5 phases in software development life cycles, and software maintenance is the last phase in the SDLC. Okay, software maintenance is generally a process of changing a system after it has been delivered to the user. So the maintenance process will start right after it's been delivered or been transferred to user, the real user. In 2000, it has been identified that the maintenance cost has been increased to more than 90% of the total spent on the software maintenance. Okay, and then the software maintenance process compromises more than half of the development process. Okay, normally software maintenance process will take more time compared to the software development. And then the maintenance process is influenced by many factors, which will resulting in a significant impact to the final product quality. So this is why software maintenance process is really important in order to ensure the software quality product. We go to agile maintenance. Actually, agile maintenance is the adoption of various agile practices by software maintenance practitioners. Okay, agile has been characterized as a quick and flexible way to ensure the quality, reliability, and the scalability of the delivered software. Benefit of using agile maintenance is the maintenance and response to the customer in a short time and practical way to keep pace with the customer need. And then why we are going to use agile maintenance? Okay, since agile is always have interaction with the customer, involvement and the interaction with the customer, so we find out that agile maintenance is suitable to be implemented. So this is the area of my study. Actually, our study on the agile methodology that been used in the software development and how the maintenance area can be the intersections of agile methodology and the software maintenance will come out with the agile maintenance. So this is the methodology that have been used towards these findings, towards these presentations. I use the document analysis, which is the systematic procedure in reviewing or evaluating documents. So the first step, I will evaluate the information resources, which is it comes from the online database, books, and also from the printed or electronic resource. The next step is for the literature search, which is during the literature search, we will apply different keywords and also from different sources. And the sources will come from the Google Scholar, IEEE, Scopus, and also Science Direct. Okay, the next step is we are composing the source together and we draw out the conclusion. So this is the findings towards this research. Okay, the first one is regarding the agile characteristic of iterative development. Since maintenance task is organized into sprints, so they always have a loss of task synergy, and their common goal always missing. The second one is regarding the agile characteristic of focused work objective. Okay, maintenance sprint is usually interrupted by the urgent customer demands. So the initial objectives are not satisfied. Okay, they need to manage the sprint accordingly. The third one is team working closely together. Due to work on individual tasks, it is challenged to produce a generalist that able to work in several systems, and they cannot forecast the task ahead. So as the consequences, this is the consequences since they cannot forecast the task ahead. The next one is close customer involvement. Okay, in close customer involvement, they always depends on the availability of on-site customer. And when customers are rarely on-site, they will have a little or no interaction at all. This will resulting with difficulty to achieve the customer involvement. Okay, number 5, which is according to the agile characteristic, face-to-face communications. In the diverse nature of tasks, face-to-face communication seems not necessary and not productive in the maintenance. Okay, this is due to the lack of knowledge of the customer and task, and maintenance not able to have an effective and face-to-face communications. The sixth one is light documentations. Okay. In Agile, actually, since having a lot of documentation in Agile is not the Agile principles, okay? But documentation is important artifact to refer to the future maintenance, which is to maintain the evolving system and evolutionary system and help problem comprehension for future maintenance work. So it is important to keep the necessary document only, and maintenance needs to prepare a simple yet full of information documentation. The next finding is according to the frequent testing. Okay, in Agile maintenance, frequent automated tests is important, and comprehensive system testing is impractical. Testing is limited to immediate impact of current fix, which is in real maintenance environment, it is difficult to implement. So this is the challenge. The next is motivation through collective ownership, where collective ownership seems irrelevant since maintainers are working on independent tasks, and without common delivery point, motivation seems impossible. Okay, we can see that maintenance work is endless because this is due to the existence of another batch of maintenance tasks which is for the next sprint. As a result, it is hard to maintain the motivation among team, which is the maintenance team. Okay, the last findings, which is knowledge transfer through openness. Okay, openness is will leads to the visibility of tasks. If tasks are unrelated, openness and information sharing is not valuable. This is because maintainers sometimes have limited knowledge about customer and system being discussed. So for the discussion and conclusions, as we know that software maintenance always associate with high cost, which is it's become the main issues in software maintenance. We also find that effort spent in maintenance process are greater compared to the development process. In the development phase. And then software product needs to continual changes, otherwise it will become less useful. Agile maintenance is the adoption of agile practice in software maintenance. And issues that comes in agile maintenance is regarding the sprint planning interrupted, where in the sprint plan sometimes there comes an urgent fix, so they need to interrupt the current sprint. The next issue is the burn down chart will illustrate the failure to finish the user stories, and the third issue is regarding the unstable velocity. So this paper is identified the issues and challenges in the agile maintenance. So as a result, it will be a guide for software maintenance practitioners to plan their maintenance process accordingly. So this is mainly the findings for the current research progress. So that's all from me. Thank you. So in opinions.
Yes, so always me first. On your findings, I guess there were a couple that I would suggest you look at in the future based upon my working with various agile teams, which I've done in my career. One is go ahead one chart, maybe two. Ahead one chart. Move ahead one chart. No, ahead. Other way. Forwards. Number 7. So, frequent testing. In maintenance cycles, one thing that we see an awful lot is frequent testing, but you run into the question of regression testing. How do you know as you maintain a product and change a product that you don't break something that you thought was already working through the principles of coupling and cohesion? So if the testing is automated, which Agile supports in a lot of cases, that partially mitigates. But a lot of people in the Agile world now also promote the use of exploratory testing, which is manually based. So frequent testing continues, but if you don't know where your regression issues lie, testing can become hard to do. And so I would say in your findings, you might want to think about the issue of regression testing inside the test cycle. The other one is knowledge transfer through openness and also kind of associated with documentation. One thing I've seen Agile teams do is minimize the amount of documentation to the point where when they get into maintenance, the history is lost. Documentation can be too heavy, which is bad, but it can be too light and you lose knowledge as people come and go in the Agile maintenance team. And so, again, in the findings area, I would suggest that you maybe consider how to balance documentation in an Agile team. Because I've run into one Agile team, they said they were Agile. When I played 20 questions with them, they said, we just don't document anything. That, in the long run, caused them problems, and they went back and improved getting the right documentation to help with that transfer through openness, so that the maintenance people had something to look back at. So those are just things that I personally experienced you might want to look at a little bit more. Not so much a question, just experience.
Yeah, and I'm going to have a couple of comments that aren't necessarily questions. Just observations working with Agile teams, especially on developing a new product that then evolves into maintenance. And what we find is that as the system or software evolves, the architecture is important. The more understood the architecture is, the easier the maintenance will be. Thinking about maintenance during the development time, ensuring your development process, the resources and labs are configured during the development operational time, so that by the time you get to maintenance, it's just a straight handoff into maintenance. Does that make sense? So it's kind of a flow, so you don't have a break between software development and maintenance. Laboratories, the process you're going to use, the tools you're going to use should all keep moving through the development process right into maintenance. Those are the main things that I've seen, especially when you're starting from scratch on a new product. On the frequent testing though, back to architecture, the better and let's call it, well-defined the architecture is, the more easily it's understood when you make a change, how much should be regression tested. So easily being to easily identify that because of the architecture, so that you can minimize the amount of testing you have to do to ensure you didn't break it.
Actually, at first I blamed of not giving any comments because this Saimah is my student. My student under my supervision. But as usual, I always cannot help myself to to give comments. Just every comment to Saimah, please take notes with other comment from the panel. And for me, I just want to highlight to you that from this paper you have come up with findings, right? So from these findings, I hope that there is a linkage and align with the model that you want to propose. So there should be some sort of linkage between the findings and the proposed model.
Thank you so much for the fruitful